And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday night wine stream and another exciting edition of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and tonight we are going to try a Pinot Noir from a very budget-friendly wine called a Rockbrook. Now, we have done this before. We have done a Rockbrook in the past, but we did that with a Cabernet Sauvignon. Tonight, we're going to try the Pinot, and we're going to see if it stands up to the test, if it passes the test of being a good budget-friendly wine. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. So stick around with me. We've got a pretty exciting, jam-packed show. I'm going to try to go through this. I'll try to go through this as smoothly as possible. But I tell you what, we got a lot to cover tonight and a couple of exciting announcements. So please stick around. If you're joining us on the first time, this is Drink with Rick. This is the Saturday night wine stream. This is where we open, pour, taste, and review a bottle of wine. And we pair it with some foods. And I do have some food tonight to pair it with that my lovely wife, Chi, prepared for me just before the show. So we have that. It's going to be pretty good. It looks like a pretty good selection of foods. If you're joining me, I'm not a sommelier. I'm an everyman, just like 99% of the population. So I'm going to give you my everyman review, just like anyone else would try and taste a wine on our everyman level, so to speak, or every person level. And I'll keep that pretty much PC. So if you'd like to watch us, you can watch us, of course, on our Facebook page at Drink with Rick. You can watch, those of you who are friends with me on Facebook can watch on my Facebook stream. You can watch on YouTube at Drink with Rick on YouTube and chat with me there. Please chat with me there on YouTube. Twitch, of course, is up and running, and you can join me on Twitch. That's Drink with Rick 1 on Twitch. And you can chat with me there. You can join me on Twitter as well. You can go to @DrinkWithRick at Twitter, and you can tweet me as well as watch and comment there as well. And I'll try to keep an eye on that as well. You can also go to our our website. I haven't had any yet. You can go to our website at drinkwithrick.com, and we have the live stream going there as well. Now, you can't comment on just the stream. You can comment on the page. If you click on the page that the stream is on, there's a comment form down below, and you can put in some comments, and I'll respond in kind. But there is no chat, so to speak, in real time there. But you can check it out there if you'd like to. And of course, you can watch after the fact. If you don't have time to watch now, you can join me later. And watch it then, because these will stay online for quite a while. Also, the podcast. If you don't have time to watch and you just want to listen, passively listen, that's fine. The podcast goes out at 10 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday night. Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern is the podcast version of this live stream. So you can catch it there, and you can catch that at drinkwithrick.com and just about every podcast aggregator out there. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify. We're all over the place. iHeartRadio, just about everywhere you can find a podcast. And of course, you can listen to it on your favorite smart speaker. Just say the wake word and then say play the Drink with Rick podcast, and it should be able to play it for you. Let me know if it doesn't. It's supposed to be working. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the wine, but before I do, let me say good evening to everyone who's joining in the chat. Let me see. It looks a little bit quiet at the moment, but usually folks kind of wander in a little bit later, but I am keeping an eye on the chat, and I'm glad to see you here. So let's go ahead and look at the wine. Let's take a look at that, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this wine. What we're in for tonight. This is a Rockbrook. This is a Pinot Noir, 2016 Pinot Noir. It's from California. This is a California wine. And I've looked it up online, and there's not a whole lot about it. It is a budget priced wine. And I purchased this one at Winestore, winestore-online.com, and I go to the Blakeney store, but there's several in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. They're based in this general area, so that's and they have a store in Raleigh. That's a fairly new store. It opened up sometime last year, so that's in the Raleigh-Durham area. But really, really fine, folks. Anyway, they had this one, and they had it on sale, and, well, actually, it's kind of always on sale there. They have some pretty low price on some of these wines. But I found it there, and I found it in a few other places. We'll go over the pricing in just a minute. Let's look at the back of this wine. I'll read the back of this wine, the back label. It says, Rockbrook Pinot Noir. Relax and enjoy Rockbrook Cellars' refreshingly smooth and tantalizing wines for any occasion with family and friends. It's cellared and bottled by Rockbrook Cellars in Sonoma, California, and there is 12.5% alcohol by volume in this 750 milliliter bottle. So that is the Rockbrook wine. We're going to give this a shot in just a minute. We're going to give this a try now. Normally I'd have my glass up and my really nice glass up here from the crystal one, but I didn't bring that one up here. Instead, I've got this one. I've got a little glass in here to try it with tonight. This is a little bit of shout out to my cousins up in Pennsylvania, but I don't know if you can see this real clearly, but this is a little glass. It's just regular glass from Intercourse, Pennsylvania, Lover's Paradise, Intercourse, Pennsylvania. That is a real town, by the way, in Pennsylvania, and that's in Amish country. You see I don't know if you can see it real clearly up here, but it has an image of here, look at it this way, image of a cart, horse and cart, Amish horse and cart. And I'm going to try it in this little glass. I'm going to try that tonight just to see how it is. Normally I would have my Irish Crystal one, but actually, to be honest, I forgot it. I went downstairs to go get it, came back up empty-handed because I had other things on my mind, mostly trying to get the show out in time. So I didn't. But I have plenty of glasses here. And, of course, if it doesn't work here, I also have my Sunset and Vine glass that I purchased from Sunset and Vine. I have glasses here. Oh, we're good. We're good. So let me go ahead and open up this bottle. Before we do, let me check the chat again one more time. See what we've got going on. Nothing going on. Pretty quiet everywhere. I know that it is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to toast that as well. Memorial Day weekend. My lovely wife Chi just brought me the Irish Crystal glass, by the way. So I guess we won't be drinking out of the Intercourse glass. Maybe that got her attention. Said, I better get out there. Thank you, Chi. Thank you, honey. This is my Galway Irish Crystal glass. That was from my employers at buy2wayradios.com. Anyway, where was I? Okay, we're looking at the chat. Nothing going on in the chat there. Let's see on Twitter. Twitch is quiet. Everywhere is kind of quiet. But speak up. Join in. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you are drinking or what you'd like to be drinking on this Memorial weekend. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and open up this bottle. And we're going to try it out. So, yeah, I know. I didn't need my foil cutter this time because I had this handy little... It comes with a little handy tab there. You can undo the foil from that handy tab. That's pretty cool. I like that. And, of course, I have to open up to decork it. It's one of my own words, to decork it. I have my mechanical corkscrew. And we'll get it open. This is normal. I should be doing this standing up, but I'm not, so it's a little bit awkward, but it comes out quite easily, actually. So which should I pour it in? Should I pour it in this glass or this glass? The Intercourse glass or the Galway glass? Let's go ahead with the Galway. It's okay. That's what I intended to do in the first place, right? But I have to pour it into the glass. I have whichever one I choose to pour it in. Maybe I'll use both glasses. How about that? That could be fun. I'll put together my handy aerator from the Veneto Wine Lovers set, and you can purchase this online. You actually go to drinkwithrick.com. There still should be a banner up there where you can click on it and make a purchase. I'm not making any money on it right now because I'm not currently in the program anymore at the moment, but I may reapply at some point. But I put it up there for you, not for me, for you, in case you are interested in purchasing one on your own. But you can get them from Amazon. The whole kit's $19.99. If you just want the aerator itself, I think it's like $12.95, something like that, $12.99. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and pour it into the glass. And we'll just pour a little bit for starters. Swirl it around. Well, that's quite a lot, actually. Swirl it around and let it breathe. And while it is breathing, we'll continue to breathe, and we'll learn a little bit more about this wine. I'm getting some floral notes right off the bat. Yeah, quite floral. Actually, not bad. It actually, smells almost like a cherry Coke, which of course I don't drink anymore, but stayed off the sodas for quite a while. Anyway, so let's take a look. Let's learn a little bit more about this wine. I'll tell you what I purchased it for. It was going, on Wine Searcher. I found it for $5.90. I found it for $6 at Martin Wine Cellar in Louisiana. Of course, at Winestore they had a list of $5.99. And let's see. Oh, I've got to tell you one place I saw this at. I looked it up. I had to leave this up. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. There is there is a site called Liquor Store Online, which presumably they sell liquor. They have the Rockbrook Pinot Noir 750 milliliter, which is what we have right here. And it is going for, believe it or not, would you believe, this is supposed to be a $6 bottle of wine, right? Okay, would you believe $10 a bottle? Would you believe $20 a bottle? How about $30 a bottle? No, $40 a bottle. Well, actually, they have it listed here for the price per bottle. They have it for $45.69. I kid you not. I am looking right at it. Now, it doesn't say what year it is, so it says in stock, so presumably it is the current year. $45.69 a bottle. I couldn't believe it when I saw this. And actually, it's marked down because they had it strike through from the original price, which is $47.99. So, and it says in red, price per bottle. That's not price per case, folks. Price per bottle, according to this website. Now, I'm looking right at their website. Okay. I doubt that this is a $45 bottle of wine, much less the $48 bottle of wine. Okay. But we're going to try it out and see if it's at least a $6 bottle of wine. Now, I'll tell you what I paid for it. I paid for it at Winestore, and I've got their site up here. I paid $5.99 for this 750 milliliter bottle at Winestore, and that's their regular price. That's what I paid for it. So there you go. And of course, being on a budget, since we're all kind of shut in for right now, a lot of us are, and because, it's just, there's some really, really tough times, I wanted to stay away from the $10, $20, $30 bottles of wine, especially a $45 bottle of wine. So stay away from that. No way I can afford that. So $5.99. For some people, that's really stretching it anyway, because these are some tough times. But that's one reason why I'm trying to stay away from the high-end bottles of wine, because I think it's better if we could just kind of stick to see what works on the low end right now for all of us who are really kind of on the budget, and for a lot of people who are really really hurting. So, but we still want to have some quality. We want to maintain some quality of life if we can, right? Try to anyway. So we're doing the best we can here. Anyway, So that's what I paid for it, and $45.99, unbelievable. All right, so I think we've given this a chance to breathe. Anything else going on in the chat? So let me check Twitch, and Tomantio is there in the chat. Hi, Tomantio. Good to see you. Hosting with me. Let's see. Let's get back to nothing else going on at the moment. Oh, I forgot to check YouTube. Here we go. Nothing going on YouTube. Very quiet on YouTube tonight. Not too surprising, but it is. So let's get back to the wine. I can smell the floral notes in here. It's kind of flowery. And a little hint of cherry soda in there, I think. Like a cherry Coke. Wow, it does. It does kind of smell like a cherry Coke. Almost, well, not fizzy, but, Now, it is kind of a medium-bodied wine. Now, according to the Winestore's website, that it's light-bodied. Even in these lights, it looks full-body because it's just the way the lights are hitting it on camera. But from my perspective here, looking through it, it's really more of a medium-bodied wine. It's not. I wouldn't call it light-bodied. And I'm getting definitely some cherry, and maybe a little bit of maybe a blackberry or something. A little bit. Here, let's give it a try. Very fruity, very fruity. Little jammy, not too bad. Let me see. Let me give this another taste. Kind of tastes like a cherry cola in a way. It does. It's kind of interesting. And that's mostly what I taste in there. It's kind of a cherry kind of flavor to it, and just a little bit jammy. It's not real light. It's not bold at all. It's kind of a medium. It's kind of a medium taste to it. It's not very light, and I would expect some Pinots are kind of on the light side. This one's a little bit bolder than that, but it's not real bold. I would say that it's there are a few tannins in it, but I can't. It's not real tannic. It's not real tannic. It's a lot smoother than that. Yeah. It's not real tannic at all. It's a little bit. The tannins are very light, but it's fairly smooth, and it's dry. It's definitely a dry wine, but not dry that's going to dry out your mouth like tannins would do. It's not sweet, I'll say that. And a little acidic. Not too much, kind of medium acidity to it, I'd say. It's okay. If you don't like a wine that's real acidic, if you don't like a lot of acidity in a wine, this is probably good. This is kind of a light drinking wine that probably is good for like cocktail parties and things like that. If you just, people getting together for a party, which of course a lot of us aren't really supposed to be doing these days. But it's actually not bad. It's actually not too bad. Let's go ahead and try pairing it with some food. And to do that, I want to show you what I have for food tonight, because I forgot to do that at the very beginning of the show. Let me get back to the close-up here, go over the closer shot. I have with me some smoked turkey, some smoked beef sausage, and some smoked, what is this? This is there's some other beef here. What do we got here? We have several kinds of beef here, and we also have some crackers. We have some cheese, some cheddar cheese, and we have, I guess this is this is the Gouda. This is Trader Joe's Gouda that I love so much. And then we have some crackers to clear the palate with. I don't know how well this will go with some of the really smoked meats, but it should pair well with the turkey, with the smoked turkey, because Pinots are very, very versatile this wine will go with a lot of different foods. There's a lot of versatility to a Pinot, and it goes well with a lot of beef dishes. It'll go well with, say, like veal and venison, things like that. It'll work well with a couple of meaty pastas, and it. I don't know about the sausage, though. We'll have to try it with the sausage here for just a moment. This is a beef brisket, by the way. It's a smoked beef brisket. And actually, the brisket and the sausage and the turkey came from a shop called the Q Shack. This Q Shack is up here in Charlotte. They do barbecue, and pretty decent barbecue, pretty good barbecue. We used to know the owner, the previous owner, was a neighbor of ours, and he sold the business, and now it's in under different management. But she goes there from time to time, and she knows everybody there. She knows everybody everywhere. So let's try it. I'm going to set a little bit aside, and we're going to try it with the beef brisket. Let's try with the brisket first, and. Now this brisket, it's a decent brisket, but it's not the same as the beef brisket from Midwood, which is where we often go. And that brisket, their beef brisket is very, very tender. She says it was the way they cut this. I don't know, maybe. It kind of brings out the smokiness of the brisket. Actually, it's not too bad with the brisket. It really isn't. Ooh. Not too bad. Let's try it. Let's try it with the turkey, the smoked turkey. I'm going to try it with the smoked turkey now. And this should go better with the smoked turkey, I think. This turkey is a little bit on the dry side because I don't have any barbecue sauce for it. Still good nonetheless. It's okay. I like it with smoked turkey. It's okay. Pretty good. Now I'm taking a chance here. You know what? Maybe I should clear the palate just a little bit. And had a little water too. Clear the palate with some crackers. Okay, let's see what it's like with the sausage. We got the sausage here. And I love this beef sausage, smoked beef sausage. Unbelievable. Top notch. Very good. Let's see. I don't know. Jury's still out on that. I'm going to have to try another piece of it. Let me try one more piece. I'll refill the glass a little bit. I don't want to get too much into the bottle yet because we have a lot of birthdays to toast and anniversaries and whatnot. So, this sausage is good. I could drink this with you know what, I think I'd rather have well, there are a couple of the bottles back there if I was going to have this that I would rather have than this Pinot. But if I'm, when you're on a budget and this is all you got, yeah, it'll be all right. I think it'll be all right. Let's try it. Before we go to the cheeses, let me check the chat again. See what's going on in the chat, if anything. And not much going on in the chat for the most part. But hey, stop in and say hi. Tell me how you're doing. And let me make sure that I don't have anything going on anywhere else that I don't know about. This new chat thing from Facebook, I'm not real crazy about this. I mean, this new back-end live streaming thing, I don't know if I'm real crazy about that yet. The first time I tried it, I couldn't see anybody in the chat, and that there were a whole bunch of people in there. So if you're in the chat on Facebook and I can't see you, if you're commenting and I don't respond, because I do respond to all your comments, let me know, or go into the one of the other pages, let me know, because that's what happened to me the first time I tried this app, this version of it. Okay, let's go for the cheeses. Let's try it with the Gouda. This is the Trader Joe's Creamy Gouda. I had a picture of it here somewhere, but I don't have it up right now. I love this cheese, by the way. Now, we have not had a miss yet with this Gouda in any of these wines. Let's see if we can continue that trend. I liked it better with the cab, with the Salmon Creek cab that we did last week. I like it better with that, but it's okay. It's okay. It's still good. It's still good. I'd eat the cheese with this wine, but I probably would choose that Salmon Creek cab first over this. And that was another one that was under $6. Let's try it with this cheddar. It may go better with the cheddar. There's a Pinot. We'll give it a try. Kind of creamy cheddar, though. I think I like it. I like it with the cheddar. It's okay. It's okay with the cheddar. I think we're good with that. All right. So it goes good with smoked turkey. Not bad with the beef. And I don't know, little. It's okay with the sausage, I guess. It's all right. So, I think that's. I think it'll pair pretty well with most of that food. It should. It'll pair better, I think, with the turkey than the sausage for sure. But it's not too bad. Not really. Okay, so let's see anything else going on in the chat. My wife Cheese says, Tommy wanted to ask if you want banana pudding. Yes, I do, but not up here. I'll have it later. Thanks. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that, Tommy. Yes, save me some banana pudding. I love banana pudding, but save that for me for after the show, and I'll have some of that for sure. Okay, well, back to the agenda here. Let's see. We pair the wine. We opened and poured, and we paired the wine with some food. Let's learn a little bit about the Pinot grape. Now, we have been doing a series in the last 5 or 6 weeks about the grapes, the different kinds of grapes, and we've been trying a wine with a grape, and tonight we're having a Pinot wine, and tonight we're going to have a Pinot Noir, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the Pinot Noir grape. So we're going to do that right now, courtesy of Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. I'm going to read some of this, and for full attribution, because I can use it if I give full attribution to the authors. The authors are the authors of Wikipedia, so I'm giving full attribution to them, okay? For full disclosure. But some of them will be my own words. I'm going to be... I'm not going to read everything verbatim, but I'm going to paraphrase some of it. But let's learn a little bit about the Pinot grape. After we do the Pinot grape, we're going to start toasting the birthdays and the anniversaries and everything. And I have a couple of big announcements here towards the end of the show, so please stick around so you can hear all about it. All right, let's learn about Pinot Noir grape. Pinot Noir, that's a pretty well-known name. It's a pretty well-known grape. The name Pinot Noir, it is a red wine grape variety that refers to wines created predominantly from the Pinot Noir grapes. The name comes from the French words pine and black. Oh, I didn't even put that up there, did I? Let me get that up there. Okay, here we go. That's from the French words pine and black. And Pinot, meaning pine, and Noir, meaning black. There are some other names for this grape as well. some of the other names it's known by. It's known as Pinot Nero, Morillon, Burgunder, and a number of others. I don't know if I can pronounce all of these. Let me see. Let's see. Ruledansk, Modre, Spat Burgunder, Blois Burgunder. Others. I'm not going to read through all those because I can't pronounce it. But it's owned by a number of different names. The origin of the Pinot Noir grape is kind of interesting because it really don't know the origin of the grape for sure, but it's a very, very old variety of grape. And the origin is believed to be, I believe, the Burgundy region of France. Oh, that's where it's from, basically. But they're not really sure exactly where it originated from. The color of the Pinot Noir grape is black. Not surprising for the name Noir. It's black and it has a thin skins. And the grapes are bound together on the vine in very tight clusters, very, very tight clusters. And that's how the grape grows. The wine itself is, when it's made into wine, it's kind of a light-colored, medium-bodied wine. And they tend to make light-colored, medium-bodied wines with very low tannins. And as we talked about earlier tonight, earlier in the stream here, when I was trying it out, it did indeed have some very low tannins. It was not very tannic at all. But the color, it didn't seem that light-colored to me. And I think a lot of it it depends on the region where it's grown and the way the wine is made. So the wine's color when young is often compared to that of Garnet, frequently being much lighter than that of other red wines. And this is entirely natural and not a winemaking fault, as Pinot Noir has a lower skin anthocyanin or coloring matter content than most other classic red-black varieties. Well, there you go. Just reading that. Thank you, Wikipedia, for helping me out on that one. So, in addition to the wines, Pinot Noir is also used for making rosé and some sparkling and champagnes. So a lot of champagnes are made with Pinot Noir grape, which is not interesting. I actually would not have guessed for sure, unless I've been told, and so I know now. Did we lose Facebook? We think we just lost Facebook for some reason. Something's off with Facebook. I think we're still going on YouTube, so that's good. I don't know. Facebook. What can I say? All right. Anyway, back to the Pinot Noir grape. The Pinot Noir wines are some of the most popular wines in the world, which is not surprising. I mean, you'll find them everywhere. They're pretty much everywhere. And it's, where was I? I just lost my train of thought here. Okay. It's one of the most popular wines in the world, and it's grown in a number of different countries. The Pinot Noir taste is, as we were talking about before, are known for cherries, raspberries, and strawberries when young, and vegetal and earthy aromas when aged. Now, the interesting thing about that is cherries, I tasted, or it tasted more like a cherry soda to me, really, on this particular one. But raspberries, I didn't really get any raspberries out of this wine. I didn't really taste them. If they were, I didn't really. Well, let me try a little bit more. I'll tell you what, let's try a little bit more of this wine. See if I can taste a little bit of raspberry in the wine. I didn't taste any before. Let's see. No, No, definitely very cherry taste. I didn't really get any raspberries out of that at all. Let's see, anything, did Facebook come back? No, it did not. Facebook did not come back for me, but we're still doing fine on Twitch, and we're still doing fine uh, on YouTube. Facebook. What can I say? Maybe they censored me. I don't know. I'm talking about wines. Maybe they censored me or something. I don't know. Hope not. Okay, so getting back to the taste. Taste of cherries, raspberries, and strawberries when young. Vegetal and earthy aromas when aged. Now, here's the thing: as it ages, the wine ages, gets older, it starts to have kind of a more kind of a barnyard flavor to it, I guess you could say, and that's sort of an acquired taste. Some people like the barnyard or very earthy flavors. I'm okay with some of them. It depends on what it is I'm drinking. If I'm expecting that, if I know that if I pick a wine because that's what I'm in the mood for and I'm expecting that, that's okay. But if it's a wine that I'm not expecting that for, and I'm not really in the mood for that kind of an earthy wine, then it's not something that I'm really crazy about. But vegetables, earthy aromas when aged, it can get that way. So it just kind of depends on how young or old the wine is. Let's see let's see what I've got more here, and I'm going to have to clear out my screen to get a little bit more on that. Pinot Noir is grown in France. It's grown in France, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Canada, Chile, the UK, and Germany, and Italy, Moldova, New Zealand, South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, and of course the US. It is one of the most popular grapes in the world, and it is one of the most popularly planted and grown grapes in the world. And according to Wikipedia, it is. And actually, they're saying that it may date back to the Middle Ages. According to some of the notes here, Wikipedia, in the Middle Ages, and I'm reading from Wikipedia again now, the nobility and church of northeast France grew some form of Pinot in favored plots, while peasants grew a large amount of the much more productive but otherwise distinctively inferior Gouais Blanc. And in 1925, Pinot Noir was crossed in South Africa with the Cinsault grape, known locally by the misnomer Hermitage, and we've talked about that before, to create a unique variety called Pinotage. That's right. Pinot Noir is, and we've talked about this before. In fact, the first grape that we talked about was the Pinotage grape, and this is one of the two grapes that were crossed with the Cinsault grape, or the Hermitage grape, might call it if you're from South Africa, to create that Pinotage. And Pinotage is distinct to South Africa. That's their very own grape, and it makes a really, really nice wine. So, anyway, it is grown in all these countries. Once again, France, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Canada, Chile, UK, Germany, Italy, Moldova, New Zealand, South Africa, Spain, Switzerland, and the U.S. And in the U.S., the Pinot Noir grape is grown in California, not surprisingly. No big surprise there, right? It's got to be in California somewhere. In fact, the interesting thing about California that it's grown in some of these regions, the Sonoma Coast, AVA, Russian River Valley, AVA, Central Coast, AVA, Monterey County, Santa Cruz, there's a long list of places where it's grown. It's grown all over California, apparently. It's also grown in Oregon. It's grown in Washington State, in Michigan, and New York State. So that's good information on the Pinot Noir grape. I happen to like Pinot Noir. It is good wine, and once again, it's very very popular with a lot of people, and with good reason. For one thing, Pinot Noir is very versatile with a lot of different foods, as I mentioned before. You can pair it up with a lot of different foods, and it'll work just fine with them. So if you're out there looking for a nice wine for for a dinner, and like a beef dinner or something like that, and you really don't know exactly what to pick, you can go with a Pinot a good deal of the time, and you probably won't go too wrong with it. You'll probably be fine with it. So that's it for the Pinot Noir grape. Any comments from anyone on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook? Nothing going on there. It's very quiet tonight, and I'm guessing why. I'm not too surprised. Tommy posted something on Twitter here just a minute or two ago, and I'm going to mention that in just a few minutes. But before I do, let's get to the birthdays, the anniversaries. Let's do some toasting. How about that? And to do that, I'm going to fill my glass up. I'm going to do some toasting, serious toasting. We have some serious events to toast. First of all, for birthdays, I want to give a shout out to my old friend Lawrence Conriato, Larry Conriato. Larry, as I always knew him as Larry, as a lot of us did. We go way, way back to middle school. Larry Conriato, middle school in Florida, as a matter of fact. So here's to Larry Conriato, Lawrence Conriato. His birthday what was his birthday here? It is today, the 23rd. Happy birthday to you, Larry. I haven't talked to Larry for a while, for a long, long time, but we went to school together, and he actually participated in, I think, at least one of our little film projects way back then. A little film project that we did in our senior year in high school, News at 6. And Larry, I hope you have a really, really good birthday. I hope you're having one. It's almost over now, isn't it? 10:45. Happy birthday to my good friend Larry, and may you have many, many more. Here's to Larry Conriato. Also, another good friend of mine and a coworker. I want to give a shout out and a special happy birthday wish to Tracy, my good friend and coworker Tracy Hudspeth, over at Crooked Ventures at buy2wayradios.com. She and I have worked together for almost 10 years. It's going to be 10 years in just a few more months. We've worked together for many, many years. Really nice lady. And I want to say happy birthday to you, Tracy, and may you have many, many more. Here's to Tracy. Happy birthday. I hope it's been a great one. I hope it's been a really, really good one. And also, I want to give another special birthday toast to another person, someone who actually helped me. She was an inspiration for me to start this wine stream. And this would be my sister Gina Stepp. Gina, when we first did this, we first started off over a year and a half ago. Our very first wine was reviewing the collections, the Target wine, the collections. It was about a $10 bottle of wine. I think we did the Cabernet. And just for fun, I think Gina had originally posted, said, there's a new wine there called a Cabernet, or called a collections wine from Target. I wonder what it tastes like. And she had a whole group thing going, and people were commenting, saying, "Yeah, that should be interesting. I don't know, could give it a try. I don't know, a Target wine. I don't know." They had the $5 wines, and they were kind of, I don't know if they'd be any better with $10 wine. But it gave me an idea. Gina said, well, maybe somebody could try a bottle of it and test it out and tell us what you think. So what I did was, the bells went off. It went off in my head. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. idea. Why don't I go ahead and buy a bottle of this just for fun and do a live stream and open it up and do it live and taste it and just have some fun with it. So we did this, and we had a huge turnout. It was just an awesome turnout. So the next week after that was Podfest. Tommy and I went to Podfest. We do that every year down in Orlando. And I went there and told some people about it, and everybody would say, "Oh, you got to do this. You've got to do this as a regular thing. It's got to be a regular thing. All these people showing up. It's a great idea." So I was convinced, and we came back here to Charlotte the next week after that. I said, "Okay, let's do it." So I started building the Saturday Night Wine Stream. We started doing those Saturday Night Wine Stream, building this setup for that, and Drink with Rick was born. And it was really, I have my sister to thank for this, my sister Gina. So thank you, Gina. By the way, happy birthday to you. She is a younger sister. I am the oldest of the siblings, so she's a little bit younger than me, and probably a lot smarter than me. But Gina, here's to you wherever you are. I don't think you're in here watching now. If you are, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, I guess not, but maybe later. Anyway, I want to say here's to Gina, my sister. Happy birthday. This is going to be Monday, the 25th. Here's to you on the 25th of May. Okay, so we have some anniversaries. Some anniversaries to toast. Boy, we got some toasting to do. I hope I have enough left in this bottle. I'll have to take small sips, won't I? We have a lot of celebrating to do. Anniversaries. First of all, I want to give out a happy anniversary to Chris and Cheryl Wolf. Chris was my boss over at WFL. As you know, I worked at WFL. This was the local Fox affiliate in Orlando, Florida, and I worked there for about 12 years. And Chris, for many of those years, was a coworker, and then he moved on up. He actually became my boss, and he really was. He really inspired me. He really inspired me to do a lot of great things, and he encouraged me to a lot of those things, and he helped me. He helped me do a lot of great things in my career at WFL. So I want to say, and their anniversary, Chris and Cheryl Wolf, I know they've been married. They were married when I was working there, so that dates me. But they've been married 42 years. 42 years for Chris and Cheryl. I think that's just awesome. And I've said this before, when when a couple's been married that long, and they're still in love, and they're still very, very close. I think that's very, very awesome. I really do. And 42 years, that's a long time, and you don't see that too much anymore, really. But I think that's just a great, great thing. And I want to congratulate Chris and Cheryl both on their anniversary, on their 42nd anniversary. Here's to you, Chris and Cheryl. Happy anniversary. And we're all proud of you. And may you continue to have many, many more years of marital bliss. Happy anniversary. Also, I want to congratulate my friend Gary, who I went to school with also, along with Larry Conriano. Gary and Jenny Navarez, they're celebrating their 15-year anniversary. That's on. Oh, they already did actually. Now Chris and Cheryl had their anniversary on Wednesday, so that was on the 20th on Wednesday. Gary and Jenny celebrated theirs on Thursday. This past Thursday, and I wanted to give them a shout out and congratulations for 15 years of marriage, and that is just awesome. It really is. And Gary, I haven't seen you for a long time, but we're friends on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure we keep tabs on each other there. So I want to say it's an honor and happy anniversary. It's for Gary and Jenny DeVeris. Also, I want to give a shout out and a happy anniversary. Also on the same day, on the 21st, on Thursday, I want to give a happy anniversary to my good friend Paul and his wife Jennifer. Paul and Jennifer Muller. Paul C.J. Muller. Paul and I go way back to early podcasting days. He was a fellow podcaster, and I was an avid listener of his Caffeination podcast. Really enjoyed that podcast, by the way. And Paul and Jennifer Muller, happy anniversary to you. They've also been married for 15 years. Happy anniversary. Mr. Paul and Jennifer Muller. Now, I have a couple of other things that I want to toast, but before I get there, let's do the national days. This should be kind of quick, right? We're coming up, boy, an hour goes by pretty fast around here, doesn't it? So let's go back to the chat for just a second, check the chat, see what's going on there. Not a whole lot going on in the chat that I can see, but I may not be able to see you in the chat. It's possible that the chat I've got up here is not the chat that everybody else is in. So if that's the case, I apologize. Let's see. Nothing going on YouTube, and very quiet tonight on Twitch. You know, I'm not too surprised seeing that it is Memorial Day weekend. So I understand. And this has been a pretty tough Memorial Day weekend for a lot of us too. So I'm not, I'm not too surprised. But let's see. We do have some national days to celebrate. And of course, there's one obvious one. But before we get to that, let me pull up my National Day calendar, if I can. Here it is. May 23rd, that's today, May 23rd, year 2020. Today is National Lucky Penny Day. National Lucky Penny Day. Lucky Penny Day. Oh, well. I told myself that I would not get too hung up on some of these national days and come out with all these stories. I have a tendency to come out with all these long stories every time I come across a national day, because a lot of them just sort of resonate with me for one reason or another, which is one reason why I toast them. National Lucky Penny Day. You know what? I would be here all night talking about that. But you know, one of my early films when I was a kid, when I was about 12 years old, 12 or 13, that I shot on 8mm, regular 8mm silent film with some friends and my brother, was called The Priceless Penny, and it was a short film about a guy who finds a penny laying in the street, and then they find out that it's worth $1 million, and then they try to find a buyer for it, and then they lose the penny, and they lose that $1 million. And anyway, that was my first film. But that's I think about National Lucky Penny Day. I think about that. Here's the National Lucky Penny Day. The film was only like three and a half minutes long. It was a little short film. National Taffy Day. You like taffy? I like taffy, but it sticks to my teeth too much. So it seems like it's more trouble to eat than it's worth sometimes. So that's just me. National Taffy Day. I'll drink to that. Whatever. Marlo Anderson. Marlo, if you're listening now or later, you know what we need? We need a National Necco Day. You know what Neccos are? Necco. And those were the little round wafer candies. You either loved them or you hated them, but they've been a staple. They have been an icon, an iconic candy, if you will, for a century or more. I mean, they've been around for over a century, as far as I can recall. I will recall. I haven't been around. My kids think I have, but I love Neccos. Some people hate them. They say they taste like chalk, but I love Neccos. The thing is, the Necco Candy Company went out of business in 2018. I think it was sometime in 2017, 2018. But they were bought out. They were bought out by various candy companies, And the candy company that bought out the Necco brand was, for the Necco wafers and the little sweetheart candies, was Spangler Candy Company. And then they put on their website, coming in 2019, we're going to bring back the Necco candies. And a lot of us were really excited about it. And then, of course, it went out to September 2019, then December 2019, and then last I heard, not coming out till the middle of 2020. So they've really been pushing this off. Now, granted, we've been in the middle of this pandemic, so I doubt that too many people are in the in the Spangler Candy Company are back at work making candy. But if they are, please, please, please get those Neccos out, because I love the Neccos. I miss the Neccos, yes. They were really good candies for me. Now, see, I went off on my rant, and I didn't even have a national day for it. What I'm asking you, Marlo, if you're watching, and Marlo Anderson is the CEO of the nationaldaycalendar.com. You can go to nationaldaycalendar.com and check out the national days. He does a fine job with this. And they make a great wall calendar too, which I think they're just about out of. So if you want a wall calendar for 2020, better go get one. Of course, we're almost halfway through 2020. But Marlo, if you're watching or listening later, we need a Necco Candy Day, National Necco Candy Day. That's what we need, especially for everything the Necco candy's been through. And those of us who love it, we could use a Necco Candy Day. May 24th is National Yucatan Shrimp Day. I got to blow through these real quick. National Aviation Maintenance Technician Day. I'll drink to that because I tell you what, I don't like to fly, but when I do, I am very thankful when we land safely that the maintenance technicians were on their game and to keep the planes in good shape. So here's the National Aviation Maintenance Technician Day. May 24th is tomorrow, in about an hour. It is also National Brothers Day. To my daughter Tia, you watching? Tomorrow's National Brothers Day. It's for your brother. When National Sisters Day comes up, if there is one, I'll tell Tommy the same thing. I have three brothers, or had three brothers. One lives in Japan. One, I'm not sure where he is right now. The third one passed away in 2006. He's the one I often talk about. I wish I could talk to him sometimes. He's the one I talk about often and very fondly. My brother Tony, who passed away, and I miss him very much, as we all do. But I kind of wish I had my brother. But if you still have your brother, hey, call him up and say, hey, Happy Brothers Day. Brothers are important. Here's the National Brothers Day. National Scavenger Hunt Day is also tomorrow. National Escargot Day and National Wyoming Day. Wyoming Day, okay, it's one of the great 50 states, so we'll toast to National Wyoming Day. Is Wyoming on the list of states that are still I wouldn't say on lockdown, but have travel restrictions? I don't know. But May 25th, of course, is National Missing Children's Day. Please, let's toast that one. National Missing Children's Day. We don't need any more missing kids, okay? We don't want any more missing children. We want children, no more missing children, please. And I'm not making light of this. I mean, I'm very, very serious about this. Having two kids myself, it was always a great concern, a great worry with my wife and myself. And I'm not to say we were helicopter parents, but we were always very, very concerned about that. So, once again, here's to National Missing Children's Day. National Tap Dance Day is also Monday, May 25th. Would you believe that I took a year of dancing when I was a kid? When I was, I don't remember how old I was, 8 or 9 years old, something like that. My sister did a dance class, and then my brother took the dance class, my brother Michael. And I didn't want to be left out, so I said, hey, I want to take the dance class too. So my mother said, you sure? And I said, yeah, sure. So I took it, and I was the only guy in a class of all girls, and it was a little bit, it was just a little bit unnerving for me, being the only guy there with all the girls. I kind of felt like, I'm out of place here. Or it seemed to me like I was out of place. And then but they taught me a few ballet moves. Yes, ballet. Yes. And then I learned to tap dance a little bit. And then we had a recital, and the recital I had to tap dance on stage in front of a whole bunch of people, including my parents. I did it. It was a little embarrassing, but I did it. But to be honest, I don't remember. I remember one move, one tap dance move, pretty much, and that's about it. Because I was pretty young then, I pretty much forgot everything I learned about tap dancing and ballet. But here's to National Tap Dance Day. And actually, I do have a great respect for people who can tap dance. Absolutely. And ballet, too. People in ballet, they have a great balance and form. And people who can tap dance, I'm in awe of when I watch tap dancing. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's amazing. I have a lot of respect for people who can do that. National Brown Baggot Day is also Monday, and National Towel Day. And now we come to the big ones. Monday is National Wine Day, folks. You thought I was going to say a Memorial Day. It's coming up. But Monday is National Wine Day. I will drink to that. Here's to National Wine Day. Doesn't matter what kind of wine. It's just national wine. They have national days. Marlowe has put in here days for a number of different types of wine. Specifically, I think he's had a National Merlot Day and a National. I think there's a National Pinot Noir Day in there somewhere, but this one's just National Wine Day. Any kind of wine, that's fine. National Wine Day. Here's National Wine Day, and if you're really more into beer, they have beer days too. They have a National Beer Day in here somewhere. A couple of them, I think. And now we come to the last Monday in May, which is National Memorial Day. Here's National Memorial Day. I don't want to go into a long dissertation about this, but let's say on National Memorial Day, I know a lot of people think about the cookouts, and they think about going to the park, and they think about all the other things they want to do on the holiday. Of course, our office is closed on Memorial Day, so I'll be home. As I've been home for the last 2 months, so it's not a big deal anyway. It's like, okay, fine. I'm home on a holiday. I'm still home. But on Memorial Day, this is a day that we commemorate the service of our service members, the people who have lived and served, and all those who've died serving our country in the United States of America. People who gave their lives, who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives so that we could live and we could have a good life. I think we owe it to them at least a toast. If nothing, we owe them a lot. We owe those brave men and women a lot. Much more than we could ever really repay. But at least we can toast them. And here's to all the brave men and women who are serving now and who have served, and especially those who served and who gave their lives for our freedoms. Here's to National Memorial Day. And I'll toast again because I think this is important. Please remember those vets out there. Please remember all those who've passed on and who gave their lives for us. And let's use our freedoms wisely, and let's make the most of what we've been given, because they paid the price for that. Don't let it be that they've died in vain. Let's make the most of it, not abuse it or use it wrongly, or use it for political gain, or use it, in various nefarious ways. Let's honor those who died for our freedoms by living free and making the most in a good and positive way of those freedoms. Here's to National Memorial Day. And those are the national days for this week. I do have a couple of big announcements, and as I mentioned before, and before I do that, let me get back to the chat. Anybody in the chat? Nothing going on in the chat. I'll tell you what, it looks like we lost the video in that chat. I don't know what's going on. It looks like we lost video, but we're still going fine. We're strong on Twitch, strong on YouTube. I'll tell you, if indeed it is Facebook and it's not this show, this whole stream, and I don't think it is. It looks like it's a Facebook thing. I will go ahead and post the entire video, unedited, uncut. Although there's some parts I probably should edit it out to make me look better, but I won't. I'll repost this uncut so everyone can watch it later at your leisure. Or you could just go to drinkwithrick.com. That's even better. Watch it there. Okay, which brings me to a couple of things. I have a couple of big announcements to make. But before I do that, first, I want to talk a moment about emergency weather radios. You know that the start, June 1st, is the official start of hurricane season, okay? It's the official beginning of hurricane season. And it's really important to be prepared. If you go to ready.gov, that's ready.gov, the government's website for being prepared for hurricanes and other national emergencies, put together an emergency kit. This is very, very important, folks. Put together an emergency kit. Even if you don't live or you don't think you live in a hurricane zone, everybody lives in some kind of a disaster zone, whether it's, in hurricanes or from flooding or tornadoes or earthquakes, or there is potential for disaster anywhere, okay? But let's talk about hurricanes for just a moment, because on the eastern seaboard of the United States, basically where I live, hurricanes are a great concern. Also on the Gulf Coast. They're also a great concern, which basically is half the U.S. because some of these hurricanes, if they make a sharp turn one way or the other and are powerful enough, they can cut up right up the middle of the country or the in one way or the other, either from the Atlantic or from the Gulf, and really can wreak serious havoc. Remember Katrina? That was one really nasty storm. And there have been a lot of others. I've ridden through a lot of hurricanes. It's one of the reasons why we moved up here to Charlotte, because my wife we had a hurricane come through. We had 2 or 3 hurricanes come through one year. One cut through the Panhandle, or not the Panhandle, but it cut through the entire state of Florida twice. The same hurricane. It went this way and then it went that way. Turned around, came back. So we got hit twice. And it's funny because we lost a piece of fence. We also lost a whole piece of fence in our yard when the hurricane came through the first time. Then when it turned around and doubled back and came through the second time, we lost the other fence. Fortunately, we didn't lose our house, but we did lose a few shingles, and it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough, and a lot of flooding. And that was when my wife said, "We've got to get out of here." So I said, "Okay, well, we'll leave Florida. Where we're going to go? Let's go to North Carolina." Well, guess what? In North Carolina, we get hurricanes here too. We get them here too. So there is no escaping it, folks. I mean, no matter where you go, there really is no safe haven from the weather or from those kind of emergencies. So that's why it's important to get a weather radio. So, and I have several. I have a number. And I do this the hard way because I came from Florida with all kinds of weather disasters and things like that. And I am an amateur radio operator, and I participate in the the Weather Spotters Network. So, I have a lot of radios here, but everybody should have a weather radio. If you want a weather radio, you can get one at buytwowayradios.com. Now, this is buytwowayradios.com. Whoops, the wrong one. Whoop, there it is, buytwowayradios.com. I punched all the wrong buttons. There you go. We got the right button now. Buytwowayradios.com has all kinds of radios. GMRS, FRS, business radios. If you have a business, they have ham radios. They have marine radios, airband radios. They have a lot of different kinds of radios, and some of them are license free. You don't need a license for them. Some of them are, but you've got MERS, 900 megahertz digital radios, and things like that. So there are a lot of different radios up there. But they also have weather radios. If you go to buytwowayradios.com and purchase a weather radio, if you use the code WINESHOW, that's WINESHOW. Once again, that's WINESHOW, WINESHOW. When you check out, you can save an additional 5% off your order. Remember that. You save 5% off your order if you purchase if you purchase any radio or any accessory. It's good for anything on that website, to be honest. If you just need an accessory or something else that we sell over by buytwowayradios.com, you can purchase it. Use the promo code WINESHOW, and you can get 5% off your order. Okay, and just for a full disclaimer, I work for Buy Two Way Radios. I am the product manager for buytwowayradios.com. So I work for them. My boss has authorized me to provide you with this code. Now, this code is not. Do not put this code on Retail Me Not or any place like that, please. This is for your personal use. This is your personal code, and you can use it as many times as you want. You can go in there and use it again and again. Okay. Just don't share it anywhere. This is for you to use when you make a purchase at buytwowayradios.com. Okay, so that brings me to the two big announcements. I have two big announcements I want to. I think is really, really big. Before I go there, let's check the chat. Anyone else in the chat? Nothing going on in the chat tonight. Okay, now I'm getting a little surprised. Nobody's joining me in the chat. Oh well, not going to complain. Okay, I'm here doing this. I'm just having fun, so it's all good. Anyway, so my two big announcements. My first big announcement is this, and I accidentally snuck in an image before, not without meaning to, but most everyone does not know. No, most everyone knows that I'm a podcaster. I've been podcasting for about 14 years. And that's almost as long. That's not quite as long, but almost as long as podcasting's been around. I'm considered one of the OGs or old guys of podcasting, and I'm kind of one of the podcast alumni, I guess you could say. But I've been doing it for 14 years, and I've produced a lot of shows. I've produced a lot of different podcasts. There are two podcasts that I was producing sort of, I guess, incognito. I don't know if you want to call it that, but I did not put my own personal name on them. But there are two podcasts that I I did for 2-3 years related to jobs. And this was the Jobcast podcast. This is my own website. This is one of my websites. I have a number of different websites, by the way. Jobcast Central, where it's a jobs board, where you can go look for jobs. And I started off doing the Jobcast podcast, which I gave out some hints and tips on job hunting, as well as weekly job listings. This was an audio podcast giving out weekly job listings. This is something nobody else was really doing. This is something I sort of, I don't know if I could say I pioneered it, but it's something that I really took off with. So I did this for a couple of years, and I followed up with a second one that ran concurrently with the first one after a period of time, called the Tech Jobcast, and that was specifically for those who were looking for tech related jobs or IT related jobs. So I had two podcasts going that went up on every week. Each one went up every Sunday afternoon, and the reason they went up on Sundays was so that everyone could have a chance to kind of listen to it and pick out some jobs that they were interested in pursuing before Monday morning came around, and they could go off doing job hunting. Now, I ended both of these podcasts last for a couple of years, but I ended the podcast in 2018, both of them. First one, the Jobcast podcast, and the Tech Jobcast later on towards the end of the year. I ended them both in 2018 because the job market was such that there were actually more people working. The jobless rate was extremely low, and there were more jobs out there than people looking for them. I sort of figured at that point that these podcasts sort of were played out. I kind of figured that, well, they'd run their course. The job market was good right now. Nobody was really out looking for jobs because we were at something like 3.8% unemployment. Some of the lowest jobless rates in history, as I recall. Very, very low unemployment rate. So people weren't really listening anymore. They weren't really looking for jobs. They weren't really listening and job hunting because they either already had jobs or they didn't really need jobs. So that was, which is a good thing. That's a good thing for our economy. It's a good thing for our country to have people employed, to have everyone employed. So at that point, I decided to end both of these podcasts. Different times I did it, but it came to the point where I ended the series on each one of them, and they were retired. Well, the pandemic, of course, now the pandemic has come up, and now we're at a really, really high, unbelievably high unemployment rate. An unemployment rate that hasn't been seen since the Great Depression. And maybe even worse than that, I don't know. But we're at a very extremely high unemployment rate right now. There are some, believe it or not, there are some jobs out there. There are jobs out there. But it's kind of a tough haul. It's kind of tough to go out job. Look, it's tough hunting for jobs during a median, a time when when it's like maybe employment's at 5% or 6% or something. It can be, the job hunting process is tough. I know, I've been through it. I have personally been through it, and that's one of the reasons I started these jobcasts, because I went through a period where when we first moved from Florida to Charlotte, there was a period of my life when I was extremely discouraged, extremely depressed, because I couldn't find a job. I had shut down my computer business at some point, and I said, I'm going to start fresh and start new, and I went job hunting, but nobody wanted to hire me, not because I wasn't qualified, but because I had been self-employed for so long. When you're self-employed for that long, it doesn't look good on a resume because all they see is, oh, he's been out of the job market for a long time. So employers don't want somebody who's been out of the job market for a long time. Employers like to hire people who are actually still employed somewhere else. That they're viable people. That means they're up to date on what's going on in their industry and what's going on. They're fresh. They're keeping up with the time, so to speak, for lack of a better word at the moment. They're keeping up with their industry, I guess I should say. So for someone who was self-employed for a long time, to get back in the job market was extremely tough. So I went through that, and it was a very difficult time for my family and me. But I did. I became employed again, but the thing is that I understand how tough it can be to find a job. Now we're going to go through this again. Now that the country's ramping up again, and we're starting to, I guess, hopefully come out of our homes, and they're moving to get the economy going again. there are a lot of people that are out of work that are going to be out there job hunting again. So what this was about, and I know I went kind of long with this, but what I did was 2 weeks ago, I decided that maybe it's a good time, maybe it's the best time for me to relaunch the podcasts, both of them. I decided that I was going to go ahead and, as a public service, and to do my part to try to help people get back to work. I mean, I'm not really making any money on that one either. It's great if I can find a sponsor, but right now I'm just doing it. Okay, I'm just doing it on my own. But if I can do my very, very small part to help people, to help everyone get back to work, to help this country get back to work, I'll do what I can. I'll do whatever I can, what it takes. And I think what I can do is to relaunch these podcasts. I did some long and hard thinking about it because I said, I'm only going to do this podcast for so long, for so many years, and for so many episodes, and then I'm going to stop, and that's going to be the end of it, and I'm going to shelve it. And it was. I was done with them. I was done with these podcasts. But because of these recent events, I look back and I realize, what? Maybe I don't need to do these podcasts. But I think people out there need them. So maybe they don't. Maybe everything will be just fine. But you know what? I'm going to do my small part, however small it is, and I'm going to revive these podcasts. So that's what I've done over the last couple of weeks. Now the website's been up the whole time. It never went down. It's been there. It's always been there. Jobcast Central. It's jobcastcentral.com is the website. But I have, as of 2 weeks ago, I relaunched both the Jobcast podcast and the Tech Jobcast for a limited time until they're no longer needed. But for the time being, I have relaunched both of those podcasts, and they are going out every week. And so I want to say here's to job hunting. I hope everyone has great luck going out and great fortune of finding their jobs. That's one big announcement, because that is kind of a commitment for me, because I have to do that every week. It's a weekly thing, and I'm committed to it. And I've got 2 more going out this weekend as well, or Monday morning. So I haven't decided on a final time that I'm putting them out. I'm experimenting with a couple of different times of the day or the week to put them out. But I'm experimenting with that, and I should have that kind of settled in the next week or so. But I think there's some going out Monday morning. They're scheduled to go out Monday morning. So give it a listen. Jobcastcentral.com. The second big announcement is one that my son Tommy had actually alluded to earlier. Let me go back there. On Twitter. Tommy, my son, who is actually on Twitter right now, he just tweeted out. He said, me and my dad have been spending a lot of time working on a new project that will hopefully be ready for release by Monday. And that's the teaser from Tommy on Twitter. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this. I'm not going to show you because the website isn't ready to be for prime time yet. We're still working on it. Tommy, by the way, he's actually working on it. In fact, I think he's working on it right now as I speak. He's working on some aspects of the site, getting it ready. But I've been podcasting since 2006. My son Tommy has been podcasting since 2010. As a matter of fact, his 10-year anniversary as a podcaster is coming up this next month, which is pretty exciting. Well, what we decided to do was we decided to take all the shows that we've worked on over the years. So together we've worked on about 9 or 10. We produced 9 or 10 shows. Some of them are active. Some of them are no longer active, but a number of them are. And we decided to let's go ahead and let's launch a network. We're going to launch a network. So, and this was kind of some of the inspiration from this came from folks like my good friends Glenn Hebert, who has the Horse Radio Network, and Todd Cochran and Rob Greenlee, Todd of Geek News Central and Rob Greenlee of Libsyn, and a few other folks. Kind of my inspiration, and of course when we went to Podfest just before the shutdown here, the national shutdown we had back in March. We did some studying up on starting a network, and we're making the plunge. We're going to start ugly, as Chris Krimitsos always says in his book, Start Ugly, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But we decided to go ahead and launch our own podcast network. This is going to be the Savoya Media Network. It's called the Savoya Media Network. We're going to be launching, we're trying to get everything up and running, so it'll be launching Memorial Day, this coming Memorial Day. And this is it's on the 25th. So we're going to launch this, the Savoya Media Network, and I was going to start with our shows. We may invite others down the road, but right now we're going to start with our own. And we're pretty excited about this. Tommy's been really excited about it. He's been working on it quite a bit, and he's got a lot of it ready to go. So we're going to be launching this network at SavoyaMedia.com. It's not ready yet, but it'll be launching on Monday. So check it out on Monday. And here's to the Savoya Media Network. I had to toast myself at some point, right? Okay, but that's what I've got here. And I was speaking of Start Ugly, because we are starting ugly. I wanted to give a reminder out that that we are doing a giveaway. We're doing the Start Ugly giveaway. And this is the book by Chris Krimitsos. We've been doing this for a while now, and I'm still collecting emails from folks. And get your emails in, because I want to give away a copy of this book. I want to give it away to you. So all you have to do is send me an email. This is your entry. Just send me an email to rick@savoyamedia.com. And I'll throw it back up here again in a second. And answer the question. It can be just, and it doesn't have to be I do not want essays, please. And that's not what I'm looking for. I can't take time to read through long essays. I mean, you can send one if you want. It's okay, but that's not what I'm asking for. What I'm asking for is just a simple sentence, a few words. What idea, project, or dream do you have but have put off starting or completing for one reason or another? It could be anything. If you wanted to start a business, have you had an idea for an invention? Have you had an idea? I'm not one of those invention patent advertisements on the TV. But if you have an idea for an invention, or if you had an idea for doing something that you wanted to do, something you want to create, or maybe it was something you wanted to do. If you wanted to travel somewhere, if you wanted to make something, if there was something on your bucket list that you've always wanted to do, but you've been afraid to do it because you didn't have everything just perfect, like the stars were not all aligned perfectly for you to do it. Like if everything wasn't ready to do that, and you've been putting off because it just wasn't the right time, just wasn't the right place, you just didn't have enough money, you didn't have enough this or that or whatever it is, if it was something that you have wanted to do but you put off starting or completing for one reason or another, tell me what it is. Just tell me what it is. I will pull an entry from that list. I will pull an entry to that list. Send it to rick@savoyamedia.com. That's rick@savoyamedia.com. Send it to me, and I will pull the winner, and you will receive a free copy of Start Ugly by Chris Krimitsos. It's a great book. It really is. So please take a little bit of time to go out and do this. And we start getting enough entries, then I'll go ahead and pull it. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have tonight. So I think it's about time to close up. Let's see if I can give one more check in the chat. Nothing going on in the chat. I don't know what's going on here, but I think we lost our Facebook feed. It looks like we completely lost our Facebook feed. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. This is a Facebook thing. It's always something with Facebook. I don't know why, but for some reason I have few problems with YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, switch over to YouTube. Watch on YouTube. Drink with Rick at YouTube. I mean, I'm right here, and you can chat with me there. I'm watching that chat as well. If you're watching Twitch, if you're into Twitch, and Scoots Y01 is watching on Twitch. Scoots Y01, good to see you. Tell me how you're doing. And he says, want to eat mayo. Okay. Scoots Y01. It's good to see you, though. And once again, if you're watching on Twitch, you can see me there. Everything's working fine. Everything's working fine on Twitter. We've got things going up on Twitter. Everything looks good. I have a lot going on here. Okay. So everything's fine everywhere else. It's just Facebook. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I really don't. It's just unbelievable. Maybe there's just too many people on Facebook tonight, right? Anyway, so that I think that pretty much does it for me tonight. I want to thank everyone who joined me in the chat. I can't see anyone who joined me on Facebook except my wife Chi. And let's see, and Scoots Y01, thanks for Y01, thanks for joining me as well. And who else joined me there? Tom Antio, thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I do appreciate you being here with me. I know it's Saturday night. A lot of other things you could be doing, but if you're here with me, I consider that an honor, and I thank you. I thank you for it. Tonight, once again, we were drinking the Rockbrook, California Pinot Noir. This is a 2016 Pinot. I think it's not really tannin. They're very, very light tannins. Not a whole lot to it. Light tannins, rather kind of a smooth wine. Very cherry, but it actually tasted more like cherry soda, like a cherry Coke or something. It was interesting. But not bad. I love cherry. Cherry's one of my favorite flavors, and next to butterscotch and a few others. But it's one of my favorite flavors. So I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed cherry. It's actually a decent wine. $5.99 a bottle. It's where I purchased it at Winestore.com. Don't buy it from that other place that had it for $45. They'll definitely ripping you off there. But it's actually not bad. I prefer the Rockbrook Cab actually to the Pinot on this, and I prefer the other one, the salmon. What is it? Where's it back here? Salmon Creek Pinot over this. I think of the two of these, I think I like the Salmon Creek Pinot better. And if you want to go back and look at that wine stream to see my review there, you can check that out, in particular on YouTube, and also drinkwithrick.com. It wasn't. I think I like that Pinot better than this one, but this one's not bad. But I do definitely like the cherry flavor here. That's very cherry. And if you don't like cherry, I don't know what to tell you there, but it's pretty decent, I think, for a cherry wine. $5.99, I think it's a pretty decent buy. So went okay with went well with the turkey, the smoked turkey, and it went okay with the beef brisket. I can't say that it was great with the beef sausage. I don't think it was really intended for that. But it's not bad. If that's the only one you've got to drink in the house with the beef sausage, it's okay. But I would choose the smoked turkey first. It went great. It went great with the cheddar cheese, and it went pretty good with the Gouda. It wasn't bad with the Gouda. So that's my review for tonight. Next time, I'm not sure what we're going to do next time, but I am telling you what we might do, and I'm still thinking about it. We might do a special Memorial Day episode, just a 1-hour episode. We're going to keep it short, maybe a little less than an hour. We're going to do a short episode of Drink with Rick in honor of Memorial Day and just to get people together on Memorial Day. If we do this, it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? So I'll have details on that later, but 8 p.m. Eastern is when we would do the Memorial Day episode if we go ahead and follow through with that. I've got to figure out what's going on with Facebook. Something weird's happening with that, as it usually does. So I don't know what's happening. So I'll figure that out. In the meantime, I want everyone to have a great week. I want everyone to have a safe week. Have a safe Memorial Day holiday. Please do not drink and drive, as if we have anywhere to go during this pandemic. Please do not text and drive if you do that. Please stay safe and have a great week. So you can all come together next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and then we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.